Hello, hello everybody. So nice to have you here, and I shall take my chance to show you how I finished this what you call it, a stitched cover, a book cover. It's going to be a A4 book cover, and I started it in an earlier video, and I am happy to show you that I finished stitching it, and I decorated here some with golden stitches. Here I learned new stitches for the edging, and then I just had running stitches, slow stitching around, filled it in with seed stitching, here with the knots, not the French knots, the other knot, I forgot the name of it. Here too, the knots. I filled some of the puffs with this stitch. Here too is a stitch in here, or with buttons. This one I put one of these in there. There's a button in here, and then I stitched around it. There's another one in here. And now for the book cover, I had measured it, my piece of fabric. It's a double layered, very fine Indian cotton, and it's gonna exactly fit for a book journal cover. That's gonna be like this. You can either put easily 2, maybe even 3 if your signatures are very thin, 2 or 3 signatures, and maybe even 1 signature if you have it a very bulky one, and then it actually still stays nice and flat because you got so much space here, and you know how they bulk, those signatures. But I intend to put a double normal fat signatures in there. It's just a cereal box cardboard thing, and I'm gonna glue it around first. Now when I measured it, I didn't intend it to sew this little puff there, but since it's there, I thought, oh, it can go inside on the other side, but it doesn't look so nice. So I kind of decided to, because the width of the cardboard is exactly this width, but I'm so lucky that the height of it just includes that puff as well. So I'm gonna leave it up here and just leave it a bit wide. So in effect it should look like this, up on top, and on the bottom it just will fit nicely around where my stitches, and here as well. So now very carefully I shall start probably with the 2 ends, and I do that with a wet glue because they stick the fabric very nicely to the paper. So, and because it's such a wet glue, it will easily go through the both of the layer of fabric. And if not, I just put another layer of glue here in between. Yeah, it looks, it needs it. It's getting late afternoonish here. I hope you can hear the birds. Oh, I forgot my scissors. So, here are my scissors. But I shall do this end first. I better check that the camera is running, because there is no second chance. Once it's glued down, it's glued down. Yeah, it looks everything's okay. So put down the second row of glue. Yeah, that seems quite good. Give it here a bit so I can stretch it here a bit. Pull it a little bit further here. Down. In fabric, it's always a bit giving. Yes, that should work nicely. Yes, wonderful. So now I cut the corner here. So I cut just a bit of the back into the corner and out here, just to make sure I don't catch too much and then the bare corner would show. Yuck. Sticks. It's sticky. It's sticky. So, with a bit of luck and a lot of precision work, we fold this over. Plenty of glue in the corners. This, of course, will be covered, so there's no problem with how it looks like. Other side. I hope you all had a lovely day. Sunday here. I had visitors and it was just beautiful, beautiful. They helped me pull cat's claw from the bush. Oh, so piles of cat's claw on a heap drying, and when they are dry, I mean the vines, when they are dry, they will make a nice fire. So there's heaps of use out of that cat's claw. I had a good cat's claw week. So, this is the back, this is the front, this is the spine. There's a little heart here, I don't know whether it's really visible. I struggled a bit with it, having it visible. Now, one of my dear subscribers asked me about these crocheted circles, and I picked up to do this from Sonia Steptoe, but Sonia did not actually show how to do it. She just said, while she made one of these, something similar, she just mentioned, oh, and you can also crochet, and the way she would make it. So I thought, oh, I can figure that out, and so I did, and I shall show you here on camera how to make these crochet circles. I have here some of the crochet circle, the same as here, and I will show you how I make the difference between these ones and the ones with the little shells around it. This one is with a touch of a thicker yarn, so this one turns out, of course, a bit bigger, but also I made the length of the crocheting, this line here, longer. I shall show you the difference too between this and this, and forgive me for my poor vocabulary when it comes to crocheting, but I just haven't got such a sophisticated vocabulary for crocheting. I learned it when I was a young girl in Switzerland, and I probably don't even know in German anymore what the name of this crocheting length is. So anyway, first we make a row of probably about 10 of these little stitches, or 10 little loops, or 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You always check yourself how big your loop is. I give it 12 this time with this. It also varies according to what thickness of yarn you have. So this is more a smaller one, these are the bigger ones, and here you can see here is the big one, and these are smaller ones. And then you make a loop and you go back into your first crocheting loop and close it. It's a little bit fiddly with the first one. There. And you got the circle. And then you can start crocheting. What I do for a little while, see how this yarn here has to be cut off eventually, so I keep it for a little while and I crochet it in. So it's tucked away there nice and safely. And then when I have a few, you know, like 3 or 4, then I cut it off eventually. But I will leave this one here now just as a reminder that we start with this circle. I might even take these ones out again. Oh, that's a bird coming. Say hello. Beep, 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 hello. Oh, it's a voiceless bird. So just to here we came out with that stitch, and then from here on we build on onto the circle. So I start quickly a new one and I show you how I made this one. Put the purple thread over here. So bye bye. Did you hear that flapping of the wings? I put the white one over here. Okay, just so we don't get into a mess. So again we make our 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, and go back into the last one. Crocheting is very much a counting affair, so it's not much chatting meanwhile. So I close the circle, so I'm now at the beginning as this one shows here. And then to make this one, I loop the yarn once around the crocheting needle, then go into the circle, not into one of the loops, into the circle, pull back the thread, and then do my 2 twice. It's only in the beginning a bit fiddly. 1, looks like even my crocheting skills is not very sophisticated. Yeah, that will go better. So once around the needle, into the circle, pull it through, and then pull it twice through these little loops. So that's now a little bit easier. It's a touch windy. I hope it doesn't interfere with the microphone. It always makes some horrible noises in the microphone. Ah, the bird is chirping quietly. It sits there at the end of the veranda on a pole and gives his comment. He's watching me and commenting. That bird loves to come when I'm out here. So now I can cut off this thread that I incorporated in the circle, and it won't go nowhere now anymore, that thread. So I will jump a little bit towards the end, because you got the hang of it now how to do this. And when you come towards the end and you think, oh, I'm nearly done, but I don't think so, because I give you something to consider. The tighter they are together, the nicer it gets. See, this is so tight here, so you have to carefully move them along the circle, and then it gets that nice look. See? And then you still got this much to do. And when I have a feeling, now it is nice and full, then I pick up here the tall one, not this short one, yeah, maybe the short one, and pull it through this one, the working one, and then we closed our circle. So we pull here through, we cut the yarn, and here is our circle, our crocheting circle. And now I show you the one where we have these little shells here, and I do that by having undone a few stitches here, and I show you, I just continue and finish it because it is much the same. Again, you make the circle. Oops. I do always work on something reasonably solid, like this is a kind of a piece of wood, a very thin layered three ply or something, and then I can carry it around to wherever I go. And if I don't work right on this one, then I can slot it away somewhere and slot it back out and continue. And then it's not in my way and all over the place. So we continue here. I just finished the round of one of these shells by just doing a single loop. So after the single, we do one into the circle, around, and then we get our two stitched little longy thing. And then the third one, we put the yarn twice around the crocheting needle, into the circle, pull it to the front, and then we have 3 of these stitches. I will look up the right name for further reference. Two. Oh, come on, right here in front of the camera. 3, and then we go down to just 1 around the needle and pull it through twice, and then the single one without pulling it around, just pull it through and make 1 of these. Then we go back to the ones around the needle with the twice pulling it through the eyes, and then the 3 times. And then twice. And then a single. So there we get our shells. Again, this works nicer if you make it a little bit tight, so I give it 1 more sequence of these. So we make it the 2 to start with, then the longer one, where we pull it through the eyes 3 times, 2, 3, and then down to 2, 1, 2, and then the single one. And that looks about right. Distribute it evenly. So to finish it off, I just go down back into its original loop, pull it through, cut it, and finish it off. There. So we got these with the loops, with the shells. This is the plain one. Here I made something rather silly. When I was this far, I thought I'd do another round and just go into the loops and make another single row just with the loop, but it curls up. So either you want that, you know, you can continue and make barnacles or something with them, or it's not really appropriate if you want these flat rings. And what I've done here, that they are longer, I've done the 3, you know, pulling it through 3 times, so it makes these little sticking out things a bit longer. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial on how to make crochet circles, and good luck when you try it yourself. Thanks for watching, and I see you in my next video. Bye now.